Okay, I'm ready.
All right, take it away.
Thank you guys for coming today to Noodleture. We're talking about culture in a bowl. So Noodleture is a brand based on enjoying noodles while learning about culture. And then I mainly did this project because, well, I like food, but I was also interested in how food connects people to their cultures. When I grew up as Chinese American, I ate various dishes that are meant to celebrate holidays, and that got me interested in what foods other people around the world eat that like connect them to their cultures, but also wanted to find a way for people outside those cultures to learn about the foods and the cultures. And then one of the main questions that came up when I was discussing my topic was what counts as like genuinely cultural food. And so I watched a few documentaries and did a few surveys, and main points I got from those were if someone cooking the food was from that background, or they grew up in that background as an immigrant, which means they would have gotten influences from the place they're currently living and from their original background. And like one point I was kind of iffy on where like if the person cooking it was not from the culture, but if they did thorough research and respected the culture, people would consider it pretty genuine. So I want to build something around these ideas. The main question I'm asking myself is, how can food be used as a way for people to learn about culture? And so some initial concepts I had was a restaurant maybe that had a rotating menu, like each week there'd be a different culture, and then people could come and try out that food and then learn about it with some like fun info cards. But for that, I feel like it's like disconnecting and they're just kind of eating the food and then not like connecting with people. And to connect more people, I was thinking of a food festival where people from that background could like sell their foods, and then the customers could learn about that food from that person. But I still feel like that's kind of disconnecting from like learning more directly, like in depth with the food. So I wanted people to experience like food through cooking. Like they can like have to go through all the like food prep and then cooking it and obviously like enjoying it. Since there's so many dishes out there, I wanted to focus my project on one type of dish. So I wanted noodles. And since there's so many types of noodles, like just long ones, but also flat ones, and then even some that are shaped like bow ties. So learn like cook and learn about food. I wanted to create like an archive, so a website. So to walk us through the website, we have two very different foodies. So this type person would be Lorena, but these type people I was like going for who were more people oriented and want to interact with people while learning and enjoying the food. So Lorena, she comes to the website. She's not really sure she like goes through it. She's not really sure what soba is. So she clicks into it to read more about soba, and then she learns that it's made of buckwheat and water, and then to keep deteriorating, it's this complex process. And then there's a long history of soba, and then there's hot and cold soba, and then it's traditionally eaten. The tradition rose from the Edo period. So knowing that, she wanted to learn more about the different kinds of soba. So there's the hot soba, the kake soba, tempura, taro. And she can read through all this like tiny information about each type. And then there's the small selection of cold sobas. And she wanted to find out how it's made. So there's a small video clip that shows it being made. but also a little transcript with the images. Seeing all this, she wants to do it herself, so she goes to classes and she chooses the noodles she wants to cook, long, made of buckwheat, Japan, and on that date. And when she clicks into the class, there's a trailer for the class, description of it, information about who's hosting it, and all highlights and reviews, and gallery from past classes as well. And then at the bottom, there's other experiences she might be interested in, but if she wants to take this class, she can go to book class. And then for a second walkthrough, we have Mark, who's more of a homebody, and he wants to learn more about food, but like on his own time at home. So since he wants to learn more, he goes to explore, where there's an interactive map. You can like zoom in, and then when he like hovers over a country, it shows the list of like noodles from that country. When he clicks into it, there's like just a longer description of each type of noodle. When he clicks into it, he gets to this page. Then he wants to do it at home, so he goes to the recipes since he wants to learn more. And then some featured recipes. Goes to this one where there's a description of this specific recipe, the person who's cooking it, some details about it. And there's a list of ingredients with pictures. And then all the steps to cook it. And more dishes like this one. And then when he clicks onto a ingredient, a pop-up comes up with like description of that ingredient. Since he doesn't have all the ingredients, he goes to the box so he can order it, and then he chooses the food preferences and servings, and then he can order it now. And once the box arrives, it comes with all the ingredients and then a booklet, just like some inside spreads. So it's like kind of the same information from the website, but in book form, so they can easily access it. And then it's like description of what's in the box, and then silver menu, and then like this would be like recipe cards that he can cook with. Since he has everything now, he can start learning and cooking. Yeah, that's the video tour. Thank you. Questions, comments, feedback?